Hello, everyone. Hello. Good. So, welcome back to the daily Q&A. It is hi, Mr. Jorgen. It is a pleasure again to be able to connect with you guys and to have this open discussion every day. And I want to propose something different this time. So, I spoke the other day with a friend of mine who was very curious about what happened with the pump and dump, and I just realized that being caught in this battle with Tice and his cronies, and we are trying to figure out what to do with the company and how to save it and all these things that are related to that. Which I just figure out that nobody really knows exactly, or few people know exactly what really happened with that pump and dump, and I want to make sure that the next days or so we will focus, and today we will focus on that aspect, as this is crucial for the situation at Shape, and it's also crucial for what will come after the day of the reconstruction. And without too many, let's say, words to introduce it, let's analyze exactly the topic, and with proof as usual. Everything will be added to the episode today. I'm doing the episode in the portrait mode because I received a lot of positive feedbacks when we did it dual. So there are not so many things that we need to share today. So let's keep this as this format very simple and very mobile friendly. Let's say, and let's begin. So first of all, for everybody that is following, we need to understand exactly what a pump and dump is and what it really means for retail shareholders especially, and for shareholders in general. So pump and dump is usually an episode, of course, like the name says, that has two stages. One stage is the one when the price is getting inflated by a certain party that has an interest to profit out of it. And of course, the dump is the phase where the extraction from the increased price happens, and that is the phase where the retailers get hurt the most, in which basically the party that has generated the inflated price based on rumors or by using some sort of a position or insider information decides to exit simultaneously on the peak price. So um, we'll start discussing today about the pump and how this happened in Shape Robotics. So first of all, we need to get you back in time a little bit. In 2023, Shape Robotics has finalized an uplisting at the end of 23 on the main market, which, by the way, I think it was a major mistake from the management of Shape Robotics at that time. And of course, I have to remind everyone that that is also the situation that triggered the loss of support from AE4. But again, I will not repeat anything. I will not come back to the topic of AE4 because it was very much a topic of discussion at the beginning of our live streams, and I will focus mostly on the IPO and the conclusions of the IPO. So we went on the actually it is called an IPO, but in the end we didn't do that. So what happened is we made a prospectus. Shape Robotics got uplisted on the main market on the Nasdaq Nordic in Copenhagen with in the small cap section. And this was done technical, so we just uplisting from the First North, which is an accelerator for business, towards the main market. And this has been done without offering shares to the market, although the board had authorization at the time to issue new shares. And I believe in retrospect that would have been mandatory because many things have went wrong during the uplisting, and it will be a topic that we will discuss at a later stage in our one-to-one one-to-many format discussions. So I hope that everything is okay. You can hear me, you can see me okay. If possible, please confirm that to me. What the situation looks like in 2023 at the end, very close to finalizing the uplisting to the main market. We are already preparing to finalize the financial year also, which of course is delayed with almost 1.5 quarters according to the Danish regulations. Shape Robotics was just starting year 24 with a budget that was sky high compared to the year before. PNR projects, Smart Life projects were well underway. A lot of the business was very was secured even at that time. So we were already discussing the next move on the Polish market, and as everybody can remember, we just finalized in the same year 23 hi Bob, the acquisition of Skriware, which we hoped at that time would be a fast integration into Shape Robotics with some fast revenue streams coming from Poland also. Very important to note that the company had an approved budget for that included a new release of shares into the market in that interval, and that happened in March 24. This is very important because this is when it gets very, very funky and very technical, and I will try to do it in a simple way, to present it in a simple way. And of course, if there are any questions, please interrupt me and during the presentation. I will just look at the emails and I will give you the exact dates, and of course these emails will be attached to I'm still live. I should be connected and have sound. I don't know what happened. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, there was a small glitch in the restream. Can you hear me? Yeah. Just confirm. So I'm live, I'm connected. Okay, perfect. So because I cannot see myself, I don't know why. Okay, I should be okay. It was a small glitch in the restream. So what happened is I'm putting the information in a format that is chronological, although I didn't have access to this information before, as it happened. It was not real time for me. As you all know, during the process of raising funds, we were talking about 5.5 million euros that the company has raised through direct share issue, and in 24, the beginning of 24, month of March. After that, of course, there was also the change in management when Andre Fern decided to step down initially to the CFO role, and afterwards he decided to leave the company due to personal reasons. What happened during that phase is that we have noticed a lot of interest, or at least I started inheriting, because I was in the process of taking over from Andre, and this was a natural handover. You need 3 to 4 months before to be able to take over the reins as CEO from the prior CEO, who was Andre. I started seeing some emails and some discussions that appeared on my email, and the most interesting one was the interest of a fellow that is called Lars Topholm. And this guy, Lars Topholm, who was supposed to be a very famous analyst, I didn't know anything about him at that time. This wanted to speak with me in, let me give you the date. So I got first time on 25th of March 2024. He connected with me and he wanted me to discuss with him on Teams meeting initially, and then to meet face to face. So he was like, nice to connect. I said to him, nice to connect, looking forward to working with you. And he said, likewise, I'm a shareholder too, and can we do an introductory call at your convenience, no rush. Lars Topholm. So this was the 25th of March. So he was telling me that he has an interest to discuss and to prepare for a mandate where I will be taken over as CEO. All is okay? You can hear me, so I don't speak to to myself, because sometimes we might get disconnection from Restream. I don't know. I hope it's okay. So what happened is that, of course, we exchange contacts, and then he started presenting to me in a very let's say sophisticated manner his connections and everything that he does on the stock exchange, and how strong he is, and why he's the guy to talk to. Okay. So we started engaging, and of course, out of let's say politeness, on March 26, I got a call with him in which we had a one-on-one discussion, mostly interviewing me, let's say him interviewing me. What is extremely important is to understand that in the same time, something was happening behind the closed doors, and that was, let me give you the exact details. So then, let me get you the details. Of course, we are doing this live, as you know. It's nothing pre-planned, pre-ordained, pre-recorded. We are doing this live, presenting it as it is. So I'm going to open the exact email where I found first time about the pump and dump, actually about the pump. And that is exactly in the same time, on the 26th of April, no, 26th of March, he started informing the market about the back of the envelope. He did a back of the envelope analysis of Shape Robotics that he shared to the market. Let me just open it up and I will read to you this, and then of course you can read it yourself and understand what the meaning of this letter is. Many people have read it, but I think it's important for me to explain it, because till now I just more or less talked about it in articles. Okay, so let me just open this one and I will read it completely, because I think it's relevant. Okay, I found it. Good. Let's open it. I don't know why my PC is not is not showing me the correct color space. Weird. In the meantime, if you have questions, please address them to me. Okay, so the analysis has been done, and this is something that, of course, you will find attached. Many people know it, like I said. The analysis has been done on the 5th of March 2024, so that is approximately 20 days before he engaged me directly. And this is an analysis that was shared to many, let's say, out of the market investors, especially to the fact that Carnegie Investment Bank, you have to understand, is the largest investment bank in the Nordic hemisphere and in the Nordic countries, not hemisphere. And they have an office also in London, and they have an office also in New York. So this sending this information to its internal offices has created a very interesting move on the market. And that move was the beginning and actually the pump itself. Why it happened, I will explain to you immediately. So I will read from it. Looking for a microcap idea where there is a theoretically argument for at least 3 to 4 times higher share price over the coming years. This is not a target price, just an official mathematical argument made under certain assumptions which may be related with significant uncertainty. So this is from the 5th of March, Lars Stockholm, head of research, Carnegie Investment Bank. So pay attention, managing partner and head of research. So superstar. This is the document that has been proven to be on the 7th of April, has been proven to be financial advice done by a person that broke the MAR regulations. Okay, so what it says, I have done a back of the envelope on Shape Robotics, a Danish microcap, market cap at 500 million crowns. Given the company has just announced a very ambitious growth plan targeting at least 1 billion crowns in revenue by 27, with a 12 to 15% EBITDA margin, which here itself was a double from 2022. It might not be a micro cap for much longer. So for 2024, it was guided revenue of at least 300 million crowns, at least 75% growth. So this is how he started. Denmark has a cluster of robotic companies, one of which is Shape Robotics, which upgraded its listing from Copenhagen First North to the main exchange earlier this year. The company makes robots and offers the equipment for intelligent classroom in public schools, allowing pupils and an introduction to programming. Shape Robotics is a student. This is a mistake. A more detailed description of the product offering is available on shaperobotics.com. Intelligent Classroom is receiving very significant EU funding these years, and particularly in Eastern Europe, and Shape Robotics is one of the few players in the market. I personally don't know the others, but for sure we can find them. According to the company itself, it's by far the best positioned company in the industry. According to the CEO, Andre Fern, hopefully for 2024, the guidance and the 27 ambitions are both conservative, but most management team claim to be conservative. That said, Shape Robotics has established a track record for guiding conservatively. For 22, initially guided 60 to 70 million, but actually delivered 87 million. And likewise in 23, it initially guided for revenue of 100 to 140 millions, ending the year in revenue 171 million. And then he says, please judge for yourself. Then, very important, there are two graphs here that are called Carnegie Research Company data graphs, and it's a revenue guidance and outcome. So he's using Carnegie research tools, and these research tools are not available for everybody. So these are research tools based on algorithms and recipes that Carnegie has developed over the years for securing their investments and for securing other people's investments also. Basically what happened, he says, I did not do a deep research, but try to model what numbers could look like should Shape Robotics reach the 2027 ambition. The simple calculation is that the 2027 EBITDA sales have a 12% margin ambition. And then, of course, what I would do is I will put these graphs in the explanation today, and you would read it yourself. These are more or less specialized Carnegie research graphs, which transform actually this back of the envelope in not what the name is, and to a full-fledged analysis and recommendation to buy Shape shares. This was proven by the DFSA, and this is basically known information already. So what I'm trying to explain to you is exactly what the metrics looks like, and the most important aspect is to explain the asymmetry of information, because one of the key elements of a pump and dump is this asymmetry of information, and many people don't understand how this asymmetry can occur, whether when a certain type of perpetrator is involved, like in this case, a shark coming from the investment community, the large tier one investors. Okay, so all this analysis has been done based on an information that seems to be public, but on the other hand, it creates a sort of financial advice that the DFSA has just said it's illegal. So we continue with this back of the envelope that again, it was done 20 days before the initial interest in me meeting, in him meeting me. And of course, I found out about the existence of this back of the envelope, not from Lars Stockholm. I found out about it way later from Jeppe Franzen, the chairman, and that was around May to June. Okay. So this is when the official paper has reached my hands. I have never seen this paper or document before that. So actually the email that is confirming this, I have it in front of me, is an email from the 27th of June 2024. Okay. Further, I don't know the capex intensity going forward. According to talks with the company, it expects top growth via partnership model. Hence, I don't know the depreciation levels and net financials. So what he admits in this back of the envelope, which is of course the name that he wants to put us to look like it's not something very sophisticated, it actually is, and it confirms that he had talked to the company. It's very important at that stage Shape Robotics was not working, and in the end it has been proven that it never worked with Carnegie Investment Bank, now part of DNB. So Shape Robotics was basically some company that just pop up in his books, and we will find out why it reached his books. Okay, so then coming forward, he continues an analysis, of course, again signed by Carnegie Research Company data, and then confirms that the company is in the process of raising capital through a share issue. Very important. So he was aware about this raising capital and share issue that took place in March, and details are not disclosed, but the company just had an EGM approval of issuing 1.2 million shares, which is true. So 10% increase. Take it for what it is. This isn't an official research, just a back of the envelope. So risks to the numbers stated above may be significant. However, given the share price today, that stands at 36 crown, I thought it was relevant to the share, because if these calculations make sense, Shape Robotics could become much less of a micro cap in future. So this is the all good. Everybody understood what I explained, because this is the part of the trigger of the pump, and it's very important that everybody has a clear understanding on how this happened and why it happened. And why it happened, actually, we have to look at the graphs. And for that reason, we will go to TradingView. I will share my screen. I don't know if this format will be quite okay for screen sharing, but let's hope that there is a way to look at the charts, and let's do it like this. I will zoom it out as much as possible, and then we will go to the interval in. We'll go to the full chart. I will center it. Okay, I think everybody can see it now. We look at shape, and then we look at 1 day intervals, and let's go to basically the date when it all happened. So we are still in March. We have to go by months. It's going to be faster, I think. And we are September, February 23. So let's go for months now. And we're getting there. June, February 23. Okay. So now we are basically at the day of the back of the envelope was March 5th. And let's look at what actually happened from, sorry, on 24, I apologize, I was in the wrong year. So we go to the March 5th on 24. Okay, so you can see here, this is the March 5th, 24. So from here to the height that was Monday. So from March 5th to the moment they sold, it is a 53%, 56% pump into the company. So I hope everybody can see it. We are talking about the 56% pump generated by the sell of by the signal to buy that Lars Topholm has made public through this back of the envelope, or not really very public. He just sent it to his peers and his investment community, and that pushed the price of again to 56% just at that time. So I think it's self-explanatory how the pump happened. There was no information in this interval. There was no information other that the company is more or less securing a new investment, the one that he has said, and that happened around. It was closed at in the beginning of the last week of March. So what is very interesting is that the average price was around 32 where people bought, and this is why the push happened. And actually, the next tomorrow we will discuss exactly who benefited from this and how they were positioning themselves to gain from the pump. And this positioning is very relevant because Lars Topholm is the CEO, is the chairman of a company called Airbio. Airbio is, I don't know what they actually do, is a carbon offset kind of a company, the ESG kind of modern companies which required cash. Lars Topholm was the chairman of that company, and two main investors that he had in Airbio are the two investors that profited the most out of the pump. And these investors are Martin Bungard and Soren Bendixen, both of them directly and through their cronies and of course other peers that they control, have bought around 3.5 million euros worth of shares just at the in the March equity campaign that the company had. And basically they have all sold coordinated on peak prices. So this was a coordinated action, an action that brought immediate profits of at least 50%, money that was extracted from retail investors that bought the hype and bought the news. There was nothing to trigger the sale. Everything was done in a coordinated attack that was orchestrated by Lars Topholm and Carnegie Bank, which at that time had absolutely no connection with Shape Robotics whatsoever. This connection happened or they try to make it happen at a later stage, and I will explain why it never could never cover the idea of the pump and dump. So I would repeat that this pump was generated by a back of the envelope that is not a back of the envelope, and this is uh, okay, proven already without any doubt. And what really happened here is coordinated action to push the price in the benefit of several uh, investors that are also partners with Lars Stockholm in the company Airbio. So this is the beginning of the end of Shape Robotics, in the sense that from that moment there was no possibility to gather any sort of traction on the share price. So from that moment, we could never enter in any meaningful deal or convertible loan deal because of the nature of the price. So from that moment, the price only went down. There was never any sort of reasonable recovery trajectory in the share price. No matter what we did, we only had some minimum locals, and that was the situation. And this is the entry episode today, part of list of episodes that we will discuss the pump and dump and how this is in direct connection with the bankruptcy of Shape Robotics and the attacks that you see today. And the reason why Shape Robotics has to be killed is because, of course, we have proven the pump, and the next logical step is to prove the dump, which is the much easier step, as of course we know who profited, we have the data, we have the information. So in conclusion, for today, I just presented how everything started. I will put it in the episode. I will try to structure it very simple so everybody can understand. Top tier analyst, proven to be a shareholder at the moment he did this analysis, utilizes Carnegie resources, and with that resources, as a head of research, pumps the price of Shape Robotics and gives financial advice to buyers to invest in this company, knowing that his best friend Martin Bungard at that phase has already pre-negotiated an agreement to enter into a large amount of share um, um, investment, and he was already a shareholder at that time, so, and bought even at lower prices. And this is a pump out of which Martin Bungard has made an average profit of at least 85% on his investment. Soren Bendingsen, very similar. This was done by the head of analysis of a head analyst of Carnegie Bank, one of the superstars of the Danish investment community, and a close friend, of course, of the all these parties that appear right now, like eagles around Shape. And to give you just a simple explanation today, the head of let's call investigative journalist or financial journalism finance is a guy called Bongard, and the guy that has extracted the most out of Shape Robotics, by the way, it's called also Bungard. One is Martin, one is Morten Bungard. Martin Bungard is the crook. His relative is the one at finance. So everybody can understand why this character assassination campaign was triggered immediately after the public release of the pump and dump in Shape Robotics. So first phase of the investigation was done. We know that the pump was real. We know that Lars Stockholm and Carnegie have offered financial investment advices by holding, in the meantime, holding shares. So the next stages will be to explain again the dump, who are the actors that benefited, and of course to prepare to recuperate every single penny of every investor that has lost anything in this company due to the extraction scheme run by the most prestigious analyst in Denmark. So I will explain again, he's the most prestigious business analyst in Denmark. Most likely this is something that has done again more in many ways. And in his words, the short seller is the smartest seller. It's part of one of the recordings that I made public about Mr. Topholm. And hopefully by doing these episodes very clear for everybody, you will understand the direct impact this kind of a campaign had on Shape Robotics. Even today, the pressure surrounding Shape, although we have a very clean, beautifully constructed reconstruction plan, still this is going to be an uphill battle for us because we are quite alone in the whole scenario, fighting with large forces that have everything to lose from us proving that the retail investors in Nasdaq Nordic are being treated like they are. I'm pretty sure that these extraction schemes have also been have also taken place in other companies with or without the help of the management. These guys are not doing this first time. And of course, everything is happening in your face without anybody knowing what is the reality, and only speculations and only losses are left to us to discuss. So, long story short, the pump is proven. This is how it started. This will be a first episode on the pump and dump. I will focus on this one till the 11th of the reconstruction, just to keep everybody connected to the immediate realities after the reconstruction, which will be to recuperate every single penny lost by the shareholders. This is my mandate in front of you. I will repeat it every time we meet. Our plan is to help you regain everything. This was theft in the broad daylight, done by smart people that wear Patagonia vests, and they believe that the money that they have made out of selling oil and gas and trading, all this kind of commodities, now can be used to extract from retailers huge amounts of profit. Questions? No news, Marcel. I'm not. There is nothing new on the Eastern Front, not the Western Front. Today I started explaining again the pump and the implications, because a lot of people have asked me to present it on video. I have already written it in several articles, but I guess it's important to also hear my comments on it and utilize this format for this session. So if you have questions about Louise, I think that you're connected. I was still expecting the last question from last time. If you want to ask me, I will stay for you for a couple of minutes. If not, I'm going to disconnect and to start preparing for the episodes post, as it will require some work from my side to put all these graphs in a good condition and everything in order for you to see. No questions. Keep on fighting, Louise. It's thank you. It's very important that in these situations, people don't have the opportunity to see what is behind closed doors, because I can guarantee you that a lot of people that are in my position as CEOs just participate to these extraction schemes. And you can look at many other companies, like for instance, Foam Technologies or other companies that I know of that have done this, but with the help of and the immediate benefit of the CEO of or the stakeholders. In this situation, the head analyst of Carnegie has done a favor to his friend. So it was not something coordinated with the help of the insiders. It was something coordinated with the lack of expertise of the insiders that offered information or were seduced by the level of Lars Stokholm. So this guy, again, is the head analyst, or was, I don't know if he's still working, hopefully not, for Carnegie, was coordinating an extraction scheme out of retailers' pockets that in his mind it was a smart move, because like I said, he always described it as short selling, described short selling as being the smart selling, there is a history about this guy Lars Stokholm. You can check. He was one of the guys that suffered a lot from on the other side of the stick, let's say, when Pandora was a victim of a very smite by the Tigers Club short selling group that basically ruined Pandora's share price 2 or 3 years before it happened in Shape. He learned a lot. He was very proud of his connections with Pandora, and the CEO of Pandora was also a member of the board in Airbio. So these guys are just a small community of people that have same interests, and they are doing the same thing all over again. And they call themselves experts. Actually, they're not. They're just regular people like you and me that have a certain position that, of course, they tend to abuse it, like every other person will tend to abuse absolute power. So in this situation, he's not a smart guy at all. He's just a crook, a petty criminal that extracted millions out of shareholders' money, and now we're fighting to recuperate that money. And you saw the effects of that fight on me personally and on the company. And the difference being here that most likely in a regular situation they would have won, because people just don't want to get in these scandals like we are now. I am not normal. I am wild. So keep on fighting, guys. I'm just your representative here. Keep in touch. Don't forget to subscribe to have access to all these documents. It will help me in my battle. It will help us to do the reconstruction. May you have a very pleasant evening, and I will keep you connected and updated. So this is part of a series of episodes that are coordinated, that are concretely done on the question of the pump and dump and its connection directly to the loss of value of the shareholders, and of course the bankruptcy of Shape Robotics, the illegal bankruptcy of Shape Robotics, completely unlawful, as you all know already. Have a good evening. Thank you very much. Hi, Peter. Don't worry, you can watch the replay. It's a very technical explanation of the pump. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.